Hi guys! So today's video is going to be another story time. There's actually two stories in it, and they are two stories of when I missed two finals. And each one is a separate story. They're actually not related. And we kind of get a bonus story here of the time that I locked my keys inside my car, because that is related to this. So that's very fun. So yeah, let's start. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the later one because I feel like that one is slightly less eventful, and the one that happened first I'm gonna do after because that one is like more eventful. So this one is one where I didn't necessarily miss the actual final time. I didn't like miss doing the actual final, but it was a take-home final that I forgot to turn in. So I know it sounds dumb, but like you'll see. Okay, so this day I had my panel evaluation for school, and if you don't know what a panel evaluation is, when you're in music, you have your certain instrument that's like your main instrument for the semester, or like just for music school in general, and every semester, give or take a couple, you have to do a panel evaluation where you go up in front of some of the professors and perform for them, and they give you an evaluation. And I had that day. It was my second semester of freshman year. It was my first panel evaluation, second semester freshman year. And I had that in the morning. And that day, my college writing 2 final paper was due, and so what we had to do for that, we had to write our paper, we had to put it in a folder, and we had to drop it off at her office in the library up on the writing center. And so my plan was that I was going to do my panel evaluation, and then when I was done with that, on my way back out to the parking lot, I would stop by that building and I would she needed us to stop by a classroom. That's what it was. We were gonna stop by the classroom in the English building. And so that was my plan, was that after my panel evaluation, I would take my folder and I would go to the English building and I would go drop my thing off to her. And no, that's not right. It was definitely in the library. Okay, to be honest, I don't really remember which building she said to bring it to. It was either the English building in the classroom, or it was her office in the library. And it doesn't really matter because I didn't do either, so that's fine. So it was my first panel evaluation, and so I was nervous, and I was very, very nervous, you know. But I did it. And this final had to be turned in by 1:00 p.m. So, you know, I figured I would have time. And so I finished my panel evaluation, I had my folder in my bag, and I was so happy that I just kind of left. I didn't turn it in. So it was just me being so relieved that everything was over that I totally forgot to turn it in. And it was 3 o'clock that it had to be in. It had to be in by 3, not 1. And I just remember, I believe it was it was a Thursday, I think. And I just remember I was home and it was just about to be 3 o'clock, and I look in my bag and it's my final. And I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I didn't turn in my final. And I was like very nervous because I didn't turn in my final, and that's a big deal. You need to turn in your final. And she said she would not accept them late. And she was a really nice teacher, so I decided, because I didn't have time to get back down there because my school is like 35 to 40 minutes away, so I just emailed her and I explained her everything that happened, and I told her that I would, if she would accept it, then I would bring it in as early as she wanted the next day, or like whenever she needed it, as long as it was at least tomorrow morning, because obviously I couldn't the rest of the day. And she emailed me back saying that there would be a slight grade reduction, but if I could get in tomorrow by 10 a.m. I believe, then I could just give it to her then. And obviously I was like, thank you so much, because I needed to turn in my final. And I ended up still getting an A in the class, so I'm not even sure if she took my grade down at all, but like, I was a really good student in her class, so I wouldn't be surprised if she was more sympathetic than upset because she knew it was an accident, you know? So that's kind of dumb, but like, it's an honest mistake, and my final was done. She knew that. I just like totally forgot to turn it in because of everything else I had to do. So yeah, that was kind of dumb, but at least she understood, so that's good. So the next one happened the semester before, when I was still at the community college, and it was my first semester freshman year. So I was on my way to my very last final of my first semester of college, and I was just in a really good mood because most of this final was take home. So I had all of my take home things in my folder, and all I had to do was turn those in and then do a small written exam. And so this school, it was a community college, so obviously you have to drive yourself there, but the school itself didn't have its own parking. There was a parking lot next to the school, but it was public and it filled up super fast. So I had to park in a parking garage for an like entertainment arena that was like 10-15 minutes away. So I would park there and then I would take my 10-15 minute walk down to the school. So I got there and I parked on the second floor because it was not very crowded, and this final I believe was 5 o'clock. It was either 5 to 7 or 4 to 6, something like that. And so I got there, plenty of time, and I shut off my car. I take out my key and I put it on my wallet, put it in my bag, and then I leave my bag in the car, and I was gonna go around to the other side and get it out. And I close my car door and I go around to the other side and it's locked. And so I said, oh, I guess I just didn't unlock that side. I guess I just unlocked my door. So I went back over and I tried my driver's side and it was also locked. And I got like this terrible feeling of panic, realizing that I locked everything in my car except my phone. If I had locked my phone in the car, I don't know what I would have done. I mean, they probably had a phone down at the little like help station, but it like I had to call not just like so okay. So first I called my friend. No, first I called my dad and I told him what happened, and he had to leave like a full cart of groceries in the grocery store to come and give me my key. So he said that he would bring my spare key to me, and then I called my friend who was also in that final so that she could tell our teachers what happened. So I called her and she felt like really bad for me, and I asked her to like tell my teacher what happened, because our teacher said that we only needed to be there at some point during the final window. Like, we didn't have to show up right at 4 or 5, we just had to show up somewhere within the finals time. So I was glad for that I didn't have to be there like right away. So she told my teacher, and I was stood there waiting in the garage in the freezing cold. It was so cold, but it was kind of my punishment, you know. I have to wait in the cold because I was dumb. And so after I think like 45 minutes, my dad got there and he gave me my key. I got my stuff and he actually drove me down to the building so that I could get there quicker. And so I went in, I went up to whatever floor it was on, 3rd floor, 4th floor, I don't remember. And I remember I was nervous to walk in the room because everyone was gonna be in there. But I went in and my teacher felt so bad for me. It was so nice. She was very concerned and she was like asking me like if everything was okay, and she felt really bad and she was fine with me coming late. So it was okay, you know. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And ever since then I have a little key a spare key that I keep on my wrist so that I don't ever lock my key in my car again because it's attached to me. So I hope that you guys enjoyed those stories. I hope that they were entertaining. I know that I always say that I don't feel like my stories are ever entertaining, even though like they were. It's just like, it's hard because I just feel like I'm very bad at speaking, and I am terrible at explaining things. I'm terrible at just like talking in general. So that's why my videos are always not good, because I like don't know how to speak to people. But it's fine. Maybe someday I'll get better. It's been 4 years and I've gotten that much better. So yeah, maybe at some point my videos will be good. We can hope, I mean, right? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna stop anytime soon, so there's only room for improvement, I guess. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if there are any other stories you would like to hear about. I know you don't know like stuff that's happened in my life, but if you have any just like general stories, like talk about the time when you know, something like that, then I would be glad to do those, because I really like telling stories. Because like I have so many like interesting and weird things that happen to me. I just feel like I'm so bad at explaining them. I can't give you enough of a like gist of what happened. Like, it's very hard for me to describe to you the essence of the things that happened like in these events. So that's why I feel like it's so hard. But we do what we gotta do. I'll get better, right? I hope, maybe. Well, we can hope. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I love you so much. Bye!